What's going on? I hope you all are good. So, as we all know, Dave Filoni will be making a movie about all the different shows we've had from Disney Star Wars, which will be an interesting endpoint to all the shows that we've been following. However, how exactly are all of these shows going to tie into each other? Considering Boba Fett's off doing his own thing, Din Djarin and Grogu have went back to their old ways, all the way back to season 1. They've went back to being bounty hunters, and now the only difference in their situation from season 3 to season 1 is that they're now doing bounty hunter missions for the New Republic. We know that the Acolyte will not tie in, as it was years and years before this time. I mean, it's even before the prequels, so that definitely will not be tying in. Then we've got the Skeleton Crew, which definitely ties into Mando, considering it has the pirate in it from Mando season 3, the one that was standing outside the school and wanted to eat and have a meal in there for some reason, or have a drink in there or something like that. We've got Boba Fett, but he's really settled down and he's happy being the mayor of this city and raising his happy family of Power Rangers. Anyways, we don't know how it's going to tie together, as most of them are not relevant to each other. But then whilst I was thinking about this, I was thinking, what if Grogu becomes Ezra's apprentice? I mean, it's probably the best way to go to tie the Mandalorian into the Ahsoka show, as we all know that the Ahsoka show will be the main reason for all of them coming together, as it has the most stakes. And come on, Thrawn is the villain of that show. No other show's villain can come anywhere close to Grand Admiral Thrawn. I believe it will be so cool for Ezra to take Grogu under his wing, considering how badass he's going to be in this show. And by this time, we know that he has learned a lot. I mean, he's in a whole new area of the galaxy that even the best Jedi have not been to. And most likely, he's had to fend for himself, make his own moves, make his own fight moves, which we know he does. If you want more information on that, then I'd go watch this leaked video that I made about the Ahsoka show right here. It's very informative, and it has some badass stuff that will be coming in the Ahsoka show. But back to this, how does Grogu become Ezra's apprentice? This is how I think it could happen. Now, we all know Ahsoka is looking for Ezra and is trying to find her way into the New Beyond, and of course she's going to get there most likely halfway through the show, and then she's going to have to fight Thrawn, and of course there is a slight chance that Ezra has kind of turned dark. He could be working with Thrawn, even though the leaks have really proved otherwise. But she's going to be looking for Ezra. When she finds Ezra, she's going to have to fight Thrawn, and it's going to be this whole big thing. Thrawn is going to be like the Thanos for the Star Wars universe, but just 10 times smarter, which means we're going to see some badass decision making, and I can imagine the dialogue from him being the coolest shit ever. But they're going to fight Thrawn, and I cannot imagine them winning easily, especially with the group that they have, even though they're Force users and he's not. Kind of. If you go watch my leak video, you might find out something that Thrawn has learnt. But yeah, they're definitely going to be struggling. They're going to take a few L's against Thrawn. He's too smart. So during fighting this losing battle, I imagine that they're going to lose to Thrawn at the end of the season. They might lose to Thrawn in season 2, after struggling against him throughout the whole of season 1, and after coming to terms with the fact that they are losing and they might have lost a few friends along the way, they'd seek out help. Now, the first option would be Luke Skywalker, of course. If he joins that fight, he's soloing everybody. I don't care how tough Thrawn is. His intelligence cannot keep him safe from the overpowered abilities of Luke Skywalker, the one and only. Now, even though it could happen, she could reach out to Luke. I do not see it going that way. But for story purposes, I believe that Luke, along with Ahsoka and Ezra, would just be too much for Thrawn.
What?
In all honesty, believe it or not, Thrawn definitely could hold his own against Luke by making some very smart decisions and basically outsmarting him, of course. But I believe for story purposes, they're going to leave Luke out of it. They're going to come up with a reason for why he can't be there. Of course, he's got his own Jedi Academy going on that he's building. Like we all know, he's got his nephew to join his beautiful academy. So that's going to be such an ongoing career opportunity for Luke. And him and all his students are going to live happily ever after. So he's off doing his own thing with his ever so kind nephew who loves him very much. And yeah, he's out the picture. And then this leaves the question, who else can they go to after Luke? Now, Ahsoka and Din Djarin have met before. He helped her on her mission and she helped him on his, so they know each other, they can trust each other, and at some point I'm sure she'll reach out to him. He's a respectable fighter, he can hold his own. However, Grogu has a lot more potential, and they are definitely going to need a Force user to help them take down this enemy. And honestly, the only other Force user Ahsoka knows, apart from Luke, is Grogu, and therefore I believe that Ahsoka will reach out to Din Djarin to get the help from both of them, mainly Grogu. And I'm hoping at this point that Grogu has increased his abilities. He's got a lot more powerful and he's actually wielding a lightsaber and fighting. So of course he helps them. In the end of the story, they get it done. They defeat Thrawn in the most important, biggest battle in the galaxy that they've ever had.
What?
That they've ever had. And after all of this is done, Ezra by this point has enough experience to be a master, and so now, just like his Jedi master, Kanan Jarrus, he wants to follow in Kanan's footsteps and get himself an apprentice. And who better for that than to have Grogu, the Force user that just helped you take down Thrawn, the biggest threat in the galaxy at this current point, and the one who is the same species as Yoda, the being that was the Grand Master of all the Jedi in the galaxy for hundreds of years. Like, come on, who else would you want as your apprentice? And in my opinion, it doesn't even have to get to the point where he thinks of it that way. At this point, he knows and trusts Grogu so much. They've got some type of relationship.
What?
Of course not in that way, chill. They're good friends, and Grogu kinda looks up to Ezra. So they go off and do their own thing, and then Grogu will be in the Ezra show. In fact, it could be the Ezra and Grogu show, which would be badass. Ezra and Grogu being two very talented Jedi, the perfect master and apprentice show. And then Din could be in it as well, who's the dad that is so worried about his son, even though he'd most likely die in the show, to create a very emotional moment. And then Grogu goes crazy and takes out whatever villain that they're fighting. I could only imagine how badass that villain would have to be to take on Ezra and Grogu. So yeah, this would be cool, and I hope I explained it well. I don't really write these videos, I just talk freely to get my most honest, from the heart take on whatever subject I'm talking about. So like I said, I hope I described it well for you guys. Let me know your opinion on this theory down in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree with my take? Is there any way that you can change it? Do you have your own theory that's better than mine? Let me know down below, and I'll see you on the next one.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Man, if you don't, get out my fucking mouth. No, boss. Oh, what the? Oh, fuck no. Yeah, I'll come back. I'll come back tomorrow. We actually get to go in. Oh, wow. This is where Luke got frozen. No, this is where Han got frozen. Oh, this is cool. What happens if I jump in there? Do I die? Guess we'll never know. Vader, get out. Let's fight. Let's fight, Vader. Come on. This is sad. But you're gonna go out like this. One bullet left, and you're dead. Come on, you're better than this. Come on, give me a real fight. Come on. Okay, B is to dodge. Okay, get used to it again. That's the block. Okay. Whoa. Whoa, buddy. Okay, he's better with this dude.